Hello, and welcome. It is wonderful to be here with you. My name is Will.
My name is Peter, and we're both instructors here at 365 Producer at Indigital Studios. We're based in Santa Cruz in LA. We're happy to be here with you. Welcome. Glad to have you. Thanks for tuning in.
Joining us. It's wonderful
to
have you. Like Peter just said, we're live here in Santa Cruz, coming at you from our studio, also the location for our program where we're teaching people how to make music. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a demo, a live production / jam session, where we will be integrating parts of our studio here with Ableton Live 10, which we have open here in front of us. We'll be showing you a bunch of cool features in Ableton Live 10, combined with a bunch of our real instruments throughout the studio, like guitars, basses, keyboards, pianos, drums.
And we're also going to be doing a little bit of live sampling. You'll see at some point that there is a sledgehammer sitting out in the live room. That's not by accident. We didn't forget to put that away. We're going to be incorporating a sledgehammer today, and it's going to be something.
It will be smashing, dare I say.
So that was not prepared, and I'm really happy about that happening.
I look forward to that. That'll be great.
I'll never forget that. And we're also going to be using a little bit of sound design in Ableton 10 and talking about some of the new features in Ableton 10 that we're really stoked on, that we're glad to have. So it's going to be a lot of stuff today, and we're just gonna have a good time.
Generally, that's going to be the theme. If you're having a good time at any time, please share this, repost the stream on your feeds.
Get it out to the world.
On that note, we're also going to be giving away a copy of Ableton Live 10 following this stream. So we're going to be having people sign up at, what was that URL again?
You're going to go to 365producer.com/getlucky. All one word, get lucky, that is. And if you don't enter, you can't win.
Word.
So what should you do? You should probably enter.
Enter to win.
Yes, please. It's a full copy of Ableton. You can't go wrong. It's going to be amazing. And then once you get your Ableton, you can come learn how to use it from us, and then the circle is complete.
Indeed.
Great.
Indeed. Well, having said all that, I think we're about ready to get into this demo here.
Yeah.
To start out with, I believe Peter's going to go into the live room here at Indigital and start playing some drums.
We're going to get some drums and some percussion in there, yeah.
Shibby. And while he's doing that, I'm going to be managing things a little bit in here and also probably integrating some instruments that I have tucked away over here.
Great.
And then we're just going to see what happens.
I'm going to go get comfy on the kit.
Let's see what happens here. So come along, go with Peter. There he goes. I'm just going to get us set up over here. I'm going to be enabling some tracks. Just so you know, for those of you at home who are just tuning in, again, this is Peter and Will live in Indigital.
And we're going to want to make sure and cut my loud because this is about to get kind of loud.
We did pre-make this set a little bit. We built ourselves a bit of a template, as it might be called.
Right.
And with that, something to keep in mind is that, there was some sort of, or not just some, there was a lot, I should say, of prep work that went into
Can you hear me?
Session, that went into the instruments you're hearing.
I cannot hear you.
At this point, reasonably dialed in, so we can just start jamming out and having some fun. I'm going to go ahead and send Peter a little drum beat, see if he is ready. I'm going to take a look at him over there. Peter, can you hear me?
There you are.
Oh,
hey, Will.
Hey, cool. I'm going to go ahead and send you the beat.
Can you, I'm assuming you can hear me now.
Oh, yes.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
And then I just want to make sure my, the mic on my person is turned off.
The mic on your person is off, yes.
Well, that's quite wonderful. Let's get it going.
Whenever you're ready, man.
2, 3.
Nice. Do some really, that's good. I was going to say do some snare roll. Snare roll.
Okay.
He's in it. He can't hear me. He can't hear me. It's too deep.
Oh, I got you. I just had to do a stick flip. I had to do a stick flip. How can you get on the drums and not do a stick flip? You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. I think we got it. I'm coming in. I'm coming in. All right. All right, I felt good, yeah. That was fun.
Yes.
Nailed it. All right, so one thing I want to explain to our viewers is you probably noticed that when I was drumming, I did a whole lot of variations. There was times when I would just kind of switch around, even within 4 or 8 bars to something totally different. And the idea is that we can now record that piece by piece and then loop any section of that that we really love. So if I did one thing for just even a moment, and you can see here in Ableton, Will was awesome enough to already like pre-loop some of this stuff. So all we have to do is go in here, find the stuff we really like, and then we have this whole mesh of all types of different ideas. So when I need to add fills to things, I got rolls, I can add really subtle drum effects that aren't the main drums. We got all types of fun stuff. And what's really fun is like when you kind of get pretty far in a track, and if you ever get to a point where you're stuck, it's nice to have a little bit of extra content to just fill in. And my thing I always tell our students is it's often better to have too much content, kind of whittle it down. That way you don't get stuck by things. You know, you don't get to a point where you're like, well, now I got to fix something. I got to make up some new element. It's nice when you kind of, in a sense, like have too many elements and then get to choose your favorites from that. So it's something I think is really important.
I couldn't agree more.
I was loving what you were doing that whole time.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Made me all vibed.
I feel like that was, we've done a few versions of jams like this, and this happens to have been my favorite one. So I'm very, very, very pleased with everything that just happened. And just to keep going off that idea with recording, I always try and get more than I need. I couldn't agree more with what Peter said. If you're out there watching and you're in any way, shape, or form inspired by what we just did, I just want to mention that the good jam that we just outputted to you, the result of all of the work that we did really, can easily look like it was just magic. But we did do a lot of work to get to this point. I want to mention that. And it kind of makes it so that when we get to the music creation part, we can just flow with it.
especially when you're using live mics and when you have multiple mics set up in a room.
Yes.
And when you have all these different levels going on, it's something that just really takes some experience and running into some problems. Like we've been doing this long enough where we've hit those problems, and then we can help people to avoid them when they learn from us, which is, I think, pretty much our biggest role. It's just already we've made the mistakes before.
We've made mistakes.
Right.
There have been mistakes made.
Yes. How perfect that in that sentence I couldn't quite get it out as I intended it, and once you make that mistake, you learn from it.
There it is. And
Live
for
in
those of
action,
you,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're able to see what I'm doing in Ableton right now. For those of you watching as we're chatting, I'm just going through and trying to make some loops out of the drum part that Peter just played. Like we said, we have a lot more than we need here. So I'm just sort of guessing based on what I sort of noticed while he was performing.
Yeah.
I also know, like, here's something I was looking for. This particular part has like a snare roll, like build up that I want to listen to and see if it's cool. Let's see what this is. Just go ahead and play some other parts with it too.
We gotta arm the track.
Oh, I turned the track off. Let's listen to what it sounds like with the actual track on. How about that? Yeah. That's actually just awesome. Let's go ahead and tweak it a little bit. We're gonna mess with Beats Warp Mode now, everyone. Beats Warp Mode.
Gotta be one of my favorite warp modes out of. So what warp modes are, to the uninitiated, just a quick preface, is the way that Ableton can kind of manipulate the sound and move it so it can either line up on the grid, or you can make it not line up on the grid at all. But it gives you a lot of control, and there's multiple different algorithms called warp modes that really give you just an insane amount of control. Also, they're amazing creative tools. You can do all types of fun stuff.
Like that.
Like a gated beat. That's great.
So this is now made of the drums that Peter just played.
Oh, please mark that or color that. Or
Here, we're
label
gonna
it
go ahead and capture and insert that scene immediately. Oh, I tried to do it, but it didn't work. Hang on. Hotkey. There it is.
There we go.
Command-Shift-I is my friend. Let's go ahead and add this guitar part that I really like back in there.
I love that. That's
This is
cool.
nice.
Ooh. Yeah, the guitar was a little bit quiet in there, which was actually perfect when I was playing, but getting to hear it now is fantastic.
And something just to acknowledge what Peter just said, for those of you listening along with us, in the other room, we have headphones that Peter was just listening to and that I will be listening to when I go in there and play piano in a second. And that headphone mix is different from the mix that you are hearing. That's what Peter was just talking about.
We get to custom create it to our own choosing for what works for us. So on the drums, I didn't want to have to hear all the other instruments. I just wanted a little bit of like context as to what Will was doing, which was great. I got to hear everything. There's just that little bit of bass, a little bit of guitar, and we get to custom make. So what you can see here on Ableton is our C sends, the letter
as you
C,
can see here,
is our custom mix for headphones for just us. So I was hearing something different from what you were hearing.
And again, if none of that made any sense, that's okay. Come and take a class from us and we'll teach it to you. Anyway, I wanted to mention what we're doing right now is sort of the editing process. But I wanted to sort of get back into the recording, into the jam mindset a little bit, while we're sort of at the same time editing and listening to what we have. So what I'd like to do now, if Peter's open to it, I'd like to go in the other room, play the piano, and have you kind of sift through what I recorded. And
I'm thinking let's get some piano, and then let's kind of just go through a little bit and get a little bit more arrangement.
Cool.
And build a couple different ideas, and then now before we go into the piano, are you stoked on all the DX7 stuff, or did you want to do any more?
I'll probably do a lot more. I was playing so just, again, for those watching, the DX7 is this awesome synthesizer in the corner of the studio that I was playing.
Very famous
at times.
keyboard.
And
good Google search.
I probably want to play some more stuff on it.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that. That's
great.
What Peter's asking me
Cool.
about. And honestly, of the stuff that I did just play on the DX7, I didn't record a lot of it into Ableton. I was actually so excited to just get up and jam along with Peter that I forgot to hit the record button. So yeah, we'll definitely want to record more of that later.
So do we like this?
I like that
in
one.
this? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
The one that's 4DX7 2111. I think it's probably too long though. Let's just shorten it. And then yeah, I'm gonna go play some piano about it.
All right.
Let's go into the
Great. Stepping into the captain's chair. It's surprisingly warm. Okay, so let's get the piano active. I might actually mute this DX7 patch right now. Okay. And your headphones.
Could you play it again, please?
Oh, I was just asking how the piano sounds.
Oh, the
in your
piano
headphones.
is good. Oh, I thought you meant the whole beat.
Okay, I'm going to play you the whole thing now and,
Go ahead.
and get to it.
Sweet. Ooh.
Okay.
Meantime, I'm curious what we got out of this. Ooh, nice. Oh, this is music. This is music right here.
We got this, yep.
Hey, Peter, go ahead and smash whenever.
You ready?
You're rolling. You're
Okay.
rolling. So for those watching,
Gonna just line it up.
I'm gonna actually
Nice. Here we go.
turn up Peter's sample box here. Oh, there you just smashed it. We got a little smash. Oh, there's another one. We're getting some smashes. I'm actually gonna immediately record enable a new area so I can.
I gotta say, this is
I
pretty
think he's talking
satisfying.
to me, but
All
I
right.
can't hear him because I have my mix turned down too much. Nice.
This one's really thick, so let's.
Here we are. Man, he's smashing that glass. Give him a little more level there.
All right. Yeah, makes sense. Let's smash this too. Yeah. All right. How are we feeling on that? Okay. Let's go back in the live room.
Cool, he's good. We got it.
How did that go?
Very
Wow.
cool.
I love that.
That was the first one I captured as like its own little spot.
I don't think you saw,
No, I
but
wasn't
there was a
watching.
little bit of water in the first one, and it just got me. Thankfully, it was water because I just rinsed those all out. But oh, so worth it, man. And I survived it. That was fun.
Bam. Yeah,
So,
good job.
one thing I want to invite everybody who's watching to do is if you're interested in one of our future streams and having us smash something specific, we love doing field recording like this or just live, sample recording. This is something you're going to hear in a bunch of my future tracks because it's just really good, sound recording and some glass breaking. But if you're interested in us breaking anything in the future, write it in the chat. We'll write it down, or get a hold of the studio and tell us what you're thinking of having us smash, and we might just smash it in the next live stream. So that'll be fun.
There you go. And also, any idea you have as far as things you'd like us to live sample, feel free to
Yeah.
throw it our way. We're open to suggestions. That was smashing. Same pun. I already used it, but it's still good.
Even better
It's
this
still
time.
good. We're the Smash Bros. It's a smashing pun. It's all good. I just want to say too, something that is sort of implicit in all of this is how much joy I feel in being a part of a process like this.
Right.
I hope that's coming through in the live stream, that we are just having lots and lots of fun as we do this. And on that note, if you are interested in this type of fun, if you are jealous right now and you want to be us, or you want to learn how to do this type of thing yourself,
or come play in our playground, basically. Yeah.
basically, yeah, then come and take a class from us.
Yeah.
365producer.com. Again, sign up for not just our giveaway that we're doing today, where we're giving away Live 10, but also sign up for info on our classes if any of this is interesting. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Pardon.
Yeah, we also do free tours of the studio. So if you're at all interested in just kind of seeing the space that we're in, because we're only showing you a small fraction of what the studio actually has. We have an amazing classroom, which is actually upstairs. We have a whole second control area. We have 3 isolation booths. You're going to get to see one of them today when we do some vocal recording. We have 3 isolation booths. We got the whole big live room in there. We have a whole nother control room, as I said. So we have a lot of different spaces to be able to do this stuff. And all of those rooms, literally all of those rooms, can work in harmony and in conjunction, which just gives us an insane amount of freedom to be able to, record a full band all at once, or really anything we can imagine. We got the playground. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. And again, like you're seeing a small window into that today with all this set up and being used. All of our outboard gear combined with in-the-box fun. So, man, I feel like now we have a really good starting point for a track.
Yeah, there's one thing I was thinking to do with the glass is I like it as a percussive thing, so we could have it just be like, just like once every other couple measures. And then I'd love to get a really cool echo effect on it.
I'd love that idea.
Yeah, and just kind of have it be, because that's actually what inspired this, the glass breaking thing is I saw a live performer just break some interesting things into a mic with a really interesting effects chain on it. His name was Eskimo. I saw him live in San Francisco a few years back, and I just ever since then wanted to do it, and I finally get to do that at a space like this, where we have the space to just break some stuff to create some things. Destruction is creation here.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. And if I do say so myself, it sounds really cool. While Peter was vamping, I just went ahead and tried to make a small portion of the glass breaking into a loop that would play in time with the drums. Let's see if I did it right without listening to it first. Let's see how I did. And here we are. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. But it's really close.
Have you got to quantize the piano room drum clip?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, got some stuff we recorded that still needs some shaping, some melding, if you will, in order to work. But I also just...
Melding.
Oh, I see why it didn't work the first time. It started on the one. Okay,
right.
Now I got it. Now this is it. Yep, that's the glass backbeat. And for those listening at home, this is what we just made. That's the live sample. Oh, that is pleasing. I enjoy that.
And every time that's happening, just mentally, I'm just imagining the water from it just shooting up into the sky, and just in a celebration of the moment. So.
I'm gonna go ahead and do what Peter suggested and put an echo on this. I'm not sure if this is what he meant, but I'm just sort of taking the idea.
That's exactly what I meant.
And running with it.
Yeah.
For those who are Live 9 users who are like, what is this echo you speak of? Echo is a Live 10.
Sir!
It is a Live 10 update. It's a really, really awesome analog-like delay that I gotta say I'm really fond of. And of all of the things in Live 10 that I've explored now, this is by far my favorite thing. Let's see what this sounds like. Ooh. Oh. My goodness.
I want to get some...
All right, let's just put that in the mix with everything. Oh. Just to point out something I really love about Echo while we're listening to this mix, it has a built-in reverb right on it. So I'm just going to listen to this now by itself again. Just instantly so much more interest, so much more character out of the glass. And then, Peter's playing with the feedback over here on the push. Go ahead and go positive feedback for us. Demo that. Ooh, yeah. That stuff. There's that analog character in the delay that I was talking about. And the fact that it lets you go up into that positive feedback area, or in other words, it lets you intentionally create feedback loops, it's very cool.
It's also, just so everybody knows, I have my hand on the dial here to make sure that positive feedback, basically if I didn't turn it down pretty much moments after it started, it's just going to go crazy and keep building in sound positive feedback loop. So we're just going to be careful about that.
I love this piano room mic with the drums.
Yeah.
So piano is being mic'd with an Elam 251. For those that has meaning to, you already know.
If you know what that is, you know how sweet that is that we have that up there.
And if you don't know, Google it, and then you'll know.
Or take our word for it. It's a sweet microphone.
Or come take a class and actually use the thing that I'm talking about. Again, that's an Elam 251.
And so it's actually set up in the piano, but it's listening to the drums on the other side of the room, which just gives it that really interesting space that's going on there. As soon as he started getting on the drums from the piano mic, I knew it was just a winner.
Oh, that's really cool right there. So that's now just like the backbeats of the snare and the glass. Let's go ahead and capture and insert that. That's really cool. Just see what we get when we start to combine this with another drum part. That's quite cool.
I'm enjoying it.
This needs to loop every 4 bars. Make this a different note. I just took the bass note that I played and retuned it in Ableton, which is kind of just a lazy way of putting another bass note in here, but why not? There you go, different bass note. Just to illustrate that I can.
We are able and we enjoy it.
So now I'm drawing in a bass line using Ableton as opposed to picking up the bass and actually playing it in again. Again, just because I felt like it.
You know, we could do with these individual notes is throw them on a fellow action and have them just, yeah. So Ableton, of course, you can trigger each clip on your own. It gives you power, you can do it with push, but it also gives you power to have Ableton trigger things for you, and we're going to be checking that out a little bit later in more detail. But this allows us to basically have a self-playing line, and we have full control over what tricks or clips are triggering other clips, which is awesome.
So while Peter was talking about that, I went ahead and set up a follow action on the bass. Let's see if I did it right. Pretty sure I did. Let's listen to it. Good idea,
Nailed
Peter.
it.
Thank you. Go ahead and just chop this up and
that how you sound to yourself? Okay. Here we go. Very nice. So I'm just gonna label a couple of these. Vocal,
Well, that was fun.
hi-hat. Yeah, it sounded great. So I also, as Will was singing, and I was recording one of these clips, so we're even gonna mark this one as vocal-ish. I don't know. We're gonna just go with that.
Is that how you spell vocalicious? I think so.
It is how I just spelled it.
There it is.
So I also took some of the first vocal that he did, made a duplicate of it, so I have the original here, which sounded great, and then I stretched it out and pitched it up.
Ooh.
So I doubled the length of it, and I might even double it again. I wanted to hear it really quick. So let's just see what it sounds like on its own.
Well.
Now I could either go with that, or I could stretch it out again.
Oh my
Goodness.
What has he done? Yeah, that's how I sound.
And let's just check it out in the mix, right? Because you never want to make too many changes before you see how they kind of feel with the rest of the song. So let's just see what it's like.
And for those wondering why I'm laughing, it's because when you sing and then you hear yourself back manipulated like that, and it sort of sounds more like a singing goat than what I think.
Or somebody
I sound
left
like.
the helium on, right?
Or like someone, you know, like is like trying to get a string to like a string on a violin to like tune to a certain note, but it just keeps. It's something like that.
I just imagine if our vocal cords had like a tuning apparatus.
They don't they? Isn't that what they?
Like on the like an external like Frankenstein's. That's what was on Frankenstein's neck.
Little known fact.
It was tuning because he was a soprano. Yeah. So let's see what this sounds like. What have we done? All right. Let's see what this sounds like. I like it.
It's actually pretty cool in the context.
I actually also want to try
That surprised me how much
a stutter.
I went from hating the thing at first when it was by itself. Oh, now he's done it. Again, he's using Beats Warp Mode to create what you might think of as like a gating effect or a choppy effect on my voice. Suddenly it's much cooler.
And I even want to try it at the normal pitch and just see what you sound like super stretched out. Let's just, it's just fun to experiment with this stuff, so let's try it.
I think it was better up high. I can't really hear it.
It's coming.
Oh, there it is.
Here's what I think needs to happen is, let's just try two of those on top of each other, one of them pitched up and one of them pitched low.
Duplicates.
Duplicate it.
Very common technique.
You gotta
when you are
duplicate it.
layering things to just layer it with itself in a different octave, as Peter is doing now.
You gotta Larry it. Shout out to Larry.
Shout out to Larry!
What's up? We see you, buddy. All right.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
higher one, I'm probably going to just cut it back a little bit on the gate. And then let's also just really quickly, I want to probably turn the volume up on when you're actually
Actually, like it kind of like pruned and buried. That's cool.
So you want it back at its original?
No,
I feel like right there.
No, I was just happy with it.
You can even see it a little bit. Return, have a little bit more feedback, not too much. And yeah, cool. So we got some good stuff going on here. Great. And this is on the return specifically. Okay. Yeah, so what we should probably do is get a couple more scenes so we can flip through them, and then I'll find one that kind of has the right mix for what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Cool.
Just more of the groovy stuff. So
we will find it.
I'm going to turn this over to you if you want to find a couple scenes.
Sure. I think I have an idea of some good ones. Like, this one's definitely a good one. Let's go ahead and grab This is pretty nice. I think the bass guitar, we want it to be this scene. I think that's what we want. Okay, let's check this. Let's just check this whole scene out right here. There we go.
And the one thing I'm hearing is that piano room drum on, this might need some quantization.
I think this one's just not the one. There we go. Again, this is that process of arranging. We're just going through and listening to what we already made and kind of trying to find some parts to it. Let's go ahead and try this scene up. This is an actual scene. Wait for the phrase.
Oh no, you know, it's not the piano. I think it's coming from the drums, one drums.
This?
No, there's like a shaker. Oh, I see. It's from.
It's this. Oh, we found the culprit. No, it wasn't that.
No, it's track 2, channel 2.
That. You're right.
Yeah, I'd never quantized that when I put it to the side.
So yeah, and as a part of a process like this, where we have so many tracks and so much going on at once, we've had a few moments now where things kind of get moved around, and we just have to clarify where they are. I just want to mention that happens to everyone all the time, especially when you start getting into these kinds of large projects. I want to point out that as much as we could, we labeled everything in this set before we got into the actual production part of the process. Earlier I was mentioning the prep work that you're not seeing that made all this a little easier. And just an example, you'll notice that our tracks are labeled as the actual sounds that are coming into them. For producers out there, you're probably either already someone who labels your tracks or you're someone who doesn't think this matters. I just want to assure you that it does, especially when you're collaborating and trying to finish projects with other people or even finish your own projects. I have found the quality of my labeling and the quality of my organization directly influences how freely I can be creative. So
organization is so key.
Yes.
And it's funny how much when we talk about it in class, there's always that moment for a lot of people where they're they're not feeling like it's that big of a deal until I go through, show them my old unorganized folder, show them my new organized folder, show them how much faster I can get around stuff, and then they're sold. They're, okay, how do I get that organized? And we get them up to speed. So I think organization is key. It's not something I used to really agree with until I actually started working with you, and then I got much more organized on my side. And I got to tell you, my Ableton life, my life in Ableton has improved. The quality of life has improved dramatically after getting organized. So, but just to also point out two things. One, when you pre-label that stuff, that's something that's so built into what we do that we just don't even really think about it anymore. It's at the point of workflow for us. And secondarily, one of the benefits to labeling your tracks, not to sell it too much because whatever you want to do is great, but all the clips that you record into it take on the name of that channel, of that track, when you actually name it something. So if you name your track, This Is the Mic, all your clips are going to be called This Is the Mic 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just super helpful, makes it super organized. Great. So we got some good things, and then we organized, or we quantized that one.
And I also
and then we're going to want to duplicate on channel 2 that.
This thing?
Actually, I can do it on here. All right, I got to do this. There we go. Okay, we're good. Thank you, Push.
Would you rather flow to this, or would you rather flow to the one that's a little grimier? We need more drums in there.
Yeah.
We need more drums.
As long as I have some good drums on this one. I like it because the flow is a little bit darker, so.
Okay, wait, we got the piano room playing drums over here.
Yeah.
That's a good scene. I like that.
And then is there a more busy bass? Less sparse?
Yeah. Actually, I might want to just play that in because I don't think I really have.
I like this one, yeah.
You like this bass line?
Yeah.
This feels good.
And if you could just turn it up a little tiny bit.
The whole thing or the bass?
The bass.
My bass. I added my hi-hat in there too. I like that. Oh, that was such good luck.
And so one thing I want to say before I go into the booth is I am in no way, I don't consider myself to be a rapper or even really a vocalist. It's not something that appeals to me super much, but I feel really empowered by this place. And so it's something that even if it's not the best result, I still can have a lot of fun just playing around here and doing things that are kind of outside of my comfort zone. Just because, why not? I'm not going to live in regret. I'm just going to have some fun, lay down some stuff. And so that's what we're going to do right now.
Word to that.
Word.
Word to that.
Word to that.
I support that mentality so much. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And on that note, I'll say that in general, this place has exponentially opened up my creativity, and I couldn't agree more with what Peter said. It actually kind of brings a tear to my eye, having taught Peter and now sitting here with him as a collaborator and working together to make something like this. I can't really tell you how stoked I am to be inspiring people, to be spreading music, to be sharing music, to be teaching music. And if you're watching this right now, and again, it hasn't been super obvious, like we are so thankful to be here. We are so thankful to have you with us, to be able to share this with you. This is just too good to be true. I'm gonna go ahead and send Peter this beat and see what he feels. How you feeling?
I feel good. Let's give me some signal. I just want to set that real quick.
Here you go.
Okay, I am. Give me a little bit more vocals.
Yeah.
Hello. A little bit more. Hello. Da 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 da. Okay, great. You ready to go?
Go.
Okay.
Whenever you want, baby.
We're just gonna feel it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, this is inspired by this place that I have to be at. I love so very much. Here we go. Getting kind of hard just to live in this state with my mind trying hard, looking to create my vision in the world, in time and space. Wanna tell you my tale with mid treble and bass. Dream of a crowd that the speakers surround with the bass so loud that it's shaking the ground. Taking the stage with my brand new sound and the moment's hitting heavy as the people get down. I know there's a way to achieve my vision, and it starts with a choice and a decision. Taking my time to expand my mind with knowledge and production of the digital kind. Once awake, my passion cannot be slayed. Trying to keep this up every single day. In the booth is where I play. Make a beat so fresh, crack 'em like an egg. Oh yeah. Your stokedness is getting my stokedness. Did I get it? Okay. Do one more time. All right. Indigital. Getting kind of hard just to live in this state with my mind trying hard, looking to create my vision in a world made of time and space. Want to tell you my tale with treble and bass. I dream of a crowd that the speakers surround with the bass so loud that it's shaking the ground. Taking the stage with my brand new sound, and the moment's hitting heavy as the people get down. I know there's a way to achieve my vision, and it starts with a choice and a decision. Taking my time to expand my mind with knowledge and production of the digital kind. Once awake, my passion cannot be slayed. Trying to keep this up every single day. In the booth is where I play. Make a beat so fresh, crack 'em like an egg. Making omelets. By the way, if you want us to make omelets on the next stream, do a live omelet station, and please tell us what you like in your omelets in the chat. You know, frittata stations seem so much more fancy than omelet stations.
Omelets. We make red omelets with beets in them, baby.
Oh, I love it. I also want to take this moment to remind everybody, please share the stream if you're loving. If you got some love for us, go ahead and share this, get this out to the world. Don't forget, we want to give you Ableton. Get signed up. All right, very good. Yeah.
I can't help it. I'm going to do it. Here he goes.
My passion cannot be slayed, trying to keep this up every single day. In the booth is where I play, make a beat so fresh, crack 'em like an egg.
Yeah, frittatas for days, man. Let's.
Woo! Thanks for doing that.
Are we gonna go make omelets after this?
I am probably going to make breakfast after this. So
Just an egg smoothie, man.
come to my house if you like breakfast burritos or frittatas or omelets after this.
You better deliver on that.
No one knows where I live, though. So.
Ah. If
Or
you
do
know where he
you?
lives, you better be on your way
If
there.
you know where I live, weird open invitation through the live stream. But hey, I said it. There's no going back now.
No, I'm going back. I'm gonna veto that for you.
That was great, man.
Yeah, because
Really
I'm not
great
serving
job.
anything in my house today. So, yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun, and
Thank you for that.
I was just really inspired by this place. Really helped me to gain a ton of confidence and to learn more stuff. Like my brain is so filled with the stuff I have from here, and I'm just insanely grateful. So that's where that was coming from. And it starts with a choice and a decision. Like I made a decision to really embrace music and to embrace like learning about music and wanting to do it right. And that was my choice and my decision. And I really, I'm committing to it. And here I am. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah. Cool, man.
I'm
Tasty.
Feeling all the inspirational vibes after that. That flow, that was really,
Thanks, man.
that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I as I said before, not to like over preface anything or over examine anything, but that's just something that I don't generally do. I'll do it for fun. Like if a student's like, hey, I need someone to spit a flow, I'll just, I'll get on it if nobody else will. But it's just not something I, take seriously with myself. I would never tell somebody, oh yeah, I'll be your guy for that. But why the heck not? I had fun.
Why the heck not?
I had fun.
And I had fun listening to it. I also was inspired listening to it just to offer a different perspective, because I hear what Peter is saying here, that he doesn't consider himself a flow artist. That felt very real to me. That felt like everything a flow artist would be.
Thanks. Yeah.
And I just want to say that something that happens here, something I just gave to Peter and something I get from other people here, is people just help you realize that you can do the things that you might have not thought you could do. that's a very simple premise, but like right now, if you're thinking, watching this, like you couldn't do this, I bet that you could. I just want to say that. If there's a voice in your head that's saying like, oh, I feel like maybe this is the next thing that I should study, or like this is interesting, or this is cool, I just want to let you know that that's all you need to go from not knowing to then being Peter in the future and coming in and flowing and doing a live stream.
And feeling comfortable in a place where you wouldn't otherwise, and then I can have fun. Because, like, think about it, like if you're someone out there who's trying to learn the guitar, and then, you know, a little further into learning the guitar, when you still don't feel very comfortable, doing it in front of however many people watching you live on, like, a live stream, imagine the amount of comfort you'd have to be in to be able to do that and still have fun. Like, there was no moment in there when I was like, oh, what are people going to think? What's going to happen here? Like, there was just no subtext of any of that. I was just, yeah, we're here. We're doing it. We have access, and we made the decision, and we're here. I love it.
Word.
Why not?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Why not? Why not?
Yeah. Well, cool, man. So, one thing we could, well, you can go a lot of different directions once you have some ideas here like this. We already have a couple scenes worked out, and scenes are a collection of these clips horizontally, so you can launch multiple clips at once, whether with the push or on Ableton.
This is an example of a scene right here. I'm going to hit this little play button.
Check it out.
Oh, okay. Our quantize is wrong. I'm sorry. I was breaking everything. There we go.
Instafix.
That's better.
And one thing, if I could steal that from you real quick.
Actually,
I just want to fix something really quick.
Go ahead.
What do you think?
Pass it off to you. Pass it off. No, go ahead. I just said that. Slide it off.
So this is a little bit much. And so what I might do is just get a small section of it here. And because it's a little intense, and it's also something where I might want to, for example, add some movement to this. So I'm just gonna grab an auto filter here and get the LFO working on it. So this is basically a filter without the LFO. If we just listen to this on its own, it's able to. We've all heard filter sweeps, especially those of us who like dance music. And so now I'm going to have the LFO moving this around for me. I like the change-up is already in the drum. Yeah, that's cool.
A happy accident.
So we don't want this one right now.
No, that one is not the one. Even deactivate it for the moment, but it's all good. That was good. Cool. Okay. So right now, again, Peter is exploring our drum parts and trying to find some nice chops or nice sections from what he played earlier. And we're kind of making loops out of them.
Cool. I think that's the section. Duplicate that. And we're gonna go ahead. I like to recolor the clips so that they stand out, and I could even rename them as
Switch.
breaks. Oh, you want this here, huh?
No.
Oh. Break one.
I'm just gonna play the DX7 if you record enable that.
Oh, fine. I was just thinking I need a DX7, so I triggered this one.
Let's
Perfect.
go put some DX7 in there.
Wow, talk about timing.
Ooh, loop that back. That was awesome.
Yes, I love that.
I'm gonna change the sound up. Give me a new loop here.
Okay. Here we go.
Hope there's not too much latency. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was
Very
wondrous.
nice. Borat's never over. If anybody, if anybody heard me say very nice, has any issue with it, I just promise you, Borat's never ever. Okay, so I just got two different color clips. So this is
mind
a
if I-
different patch.
Cool. You mind if I push? You mind if I push?
Push.
I just wanted to
You
mess
must
you up.
push. I need you recorded.
Please.
Nice.
That was good. That was
All
fun.
right.
That was fun. Ooh.
There's wow,
Tickles.
There's it tickles. Yeah, so there's a couple really great.
Those are great. I'm excited to look
Thoughts.
through those and.
So we got this is just a great
Oh.
solid loop.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh. Oh.
So I'm just gonna duplicate that clip and get octave shifting. Alright, ready?
Well, I'm gonna keep playing with that sound. Keep sound designing it. Because why not? Does that mess you up actually?
No, I actually just finished.
Oh, okay, great.
You gonna overdub on this one? Or you want a new clip?
No, I'm just playing with the synth.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do this. got some.
Oh, my pen. Yes.
My pen.
Peter's drawing in some automation now on the part I just played. Nice. Turn that sound down just a little bit, Peter. That's a good one.
Super hot.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I think that would probably need some more compression or maybe some automation,
Or some compressionation.
compressimation, perhaps both.
That may or may not be a real thing. I don't promise to tell. Cool.
Very cool. At this point, we've pretty much hit on all of the instruments that we wanted to introduce. We've pretty much added parts not pretty much, we have added parts for each thing that we wanted to play in here today. And now we're getting into a process that basically is going to be more arranging, more editing.
Right.
And I just realized we've been doing this now for over an hour. If you've been with us since the beginning, thank you so much for being tuned in and being part of this process.
Yeah.
At this point,
Wow, time flies.
it
when you're
really
having fun.
does.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say we're probably at a point where we could do this forever here. With what we have, we could just keep going. And we will probably keep working on this. I don't mean to put words in Peter's mouth.
Well, I would even say, to elaborate on that, in a future stream, we're going to have times when we are specifically starting with something that's already in this mode
Or maybe this.
and getting into arrangement. So we want to do streams that cover kind of the gamut of what the producer's experiences are. So in terms of starting with content and kind of like having as many ideas as you can. So right now we're in the first stage of production where our answer to any idea is yes.
Yes.
Absolutely yes. Do I want to do this instrument? Do I want to do another take? Do I want to do more variation? Can I try another patch? The answer is yes to all of those in this phase of production. The next time we stream, or one of the future times that we stream, depending on what we do, because we've got all types of fun stuff planned, is going to be more in the phase of like, well, does this work with this piece? Maybe not, and kind of finding the right arrangement. And then in the future, we'll be doing mixing, maybe even some like mastering streams just to show the process of how we go through stuff. We'll be going through some of our tracks that Will and I have made a bunch of tracks together as well for an upcoming project. And so we'll, be bringing in our own tracks at times, I'm sure, and sky's the limit. So if you're on one of the mediums watching this where you can chat, we'd love to hear what type of things do you want to see on a stream? What type of, do you want to see more sound design? Do you want to see more making effects chains? Live production, we can do a million more jams. We'll do this all day. Your miming is wonderful. I feel like I should be co-miming with you. Live production.
Not planned miming, I want to mention. That's why I
Right.
distracted
We
Peter.
can co-mime. Enjoyable distraction. But we can do any part of, if there's something that really you need a little bit of work on. One of those things that a lot of people need to work on is finishing tracks, because it's something they have the least amount of practice with. And you might be in that category. So if you are, let us know in the chat. And we'll be going through everything, and we want to make as many of these streams as possible where your needs and your interests are reflected, because we love it all. We love every part of it, so we're happy to go through it. So yeah, I'm just so appreciative of you,
Same.
Will, and the studio for making this happen.
Back at you,
and I'm so appreciative of everybody who tuned in.
Yes.
And everybody who entered to get Ableton, because we really want we want as many people, if everybody could have a copy of Ableton, I feel like the world would be a little bit of a better place.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Everyone should have Ableton. And so again, what was that URL that they would sign up for?
I just had a thought. Let's all write to Ableton and demand
It
that
should
we
be
all...
it should be on every device.
No, just joking, of course. But if you can still enter, and we're going to be very shortly, not on the stream, but we're going to be announcing very shortly on our various pages who the winner is, and you can still enter right now. 365producer.com/getlucky. Get lucky's all one word. There's no dashes or spaces or anything.
That's it.
There can't be spaces in URLs, so
No spaces in URLs.
know
Welcome to the modern world. Yep. You need underscores.
yeah. But anyway, so please enter that contest, and we'll let you know when the next stream is coming up, and we'll have even more crazy stuff. The sledgehammer is just the beginning, and again, let us know in the chat what you want to see. Yeah.
Exactly
any other
that.
closing notes, good sir?
I want to just echo the thank you to Peter and a thank you to Indigital, to the powers that be here at Indigital that are making all of this happen. Again, I couldn't be more happy to just be a part of processes like this. To speak to what Peter was saying earlier about the comfort that we offer here, my personal goal is to make it so everybody who comes through here leaves and feels more comfortable being creative, feels more empowered, feels like you have more agency. As a part of that, that's part of why we do things like give away Ableton Live 10. And I don't know if we've mentioned it already. If you were to come and take a class with us, you would get a copy of Ableton Live 10. That's a part of the program here. So again, come and study with us. Be a part of our 365 producer program. Come and check us out. Again, my name is Will Kreiser. I didn't do my full name the first time, but I'm Will Kreiser.
Peter Coleman, aka Bearsley. I also want to give a big shout out to George and Chris, who are holding it down.
Huge shout out
and keeping us going and keeping us live.
The men behind the curtain, also our non-hands-on crew, the people who helped in various ways to make this happen, which there are too many people.
It's a huge team effort
to name right now. But I just want to throw a massive thank you out there to everybody involved with this thing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks everybody. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and sign out from live from Indigital Studios in Santa Cruz. This has been 365 Producer Live Stream. Thanks everybody so much for joining us.
Word. We're
going to sit here and keep making some music and goofing around with it. So again, see y'all later. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Wow.